What's going on, y'all? It's Monty back with the second episode of Reading with a Real Nigga, and today we hopping into that bag of the laws of human nature. I had to stop for the thumbnail. My bro got to cook up the thumbnail. Give me a break. And I know this is another Robert Greene book. I read I think all of Robert Greene's books, so I'm gonna do all of his books first just to keep it kind of cohesive. But now this time I don't have to really do a big introduction. I don't really got to talk about anything because y'all know what the deal is. So let's jump into this bag right now. The laws of human nature. Human nature is stronger than any individual, than any institution or technological invention. It ends up shaping what we create to reflect itself in its primitive roots. It moves us around like pawns. Ignore the laws at your peril. So this book is all about human nature. I mean, simple as that. This book is very, I don't want to say similar, but it does draw a lot of parallels to the 48 Laws of Power. And I said that even in the 48 Laws of Power when I was doing that. There's going to be so many parallels between these books. And what I've honestly noticed is there's parallels between a lot of psychological books because most people are just saying the same thing, just putting a different spin on it. You're getting to the same result, just in different ways. And it's very beneficial to a lot of people because some ways may not resonate with certain people in the way that it's given to them at first. You know, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to hear something for you to be like, all right, I see where it's going now. And that's a good thing, you know. So don't ever read one book and think it's going to change. If you really want to make a difference, you got to read a couple books. Honestly, I would recommend reading all of Robert Greene's books, even the Strategies of War. If you really like it, just as a starting point. This is a little jump off. That's kind of what I did. And then you can go further into the bag from there. But this is all going to be about human nature. And I'm going to talk about a lot of the parallels that it might have with the 48 laws of, well, that it does have with the 48 laws of power. So just be on the lookout for that. So I wrote down, this book is, I don't think it's shorter. It's shorter in terms of there's less laws per se, but I don't think it's shorter in length. I think it's actually longer. But the first one we got, he starts off with a banger. And it's master your emotional self. I want to get over to the page. See if he got a little thing. Ooh, all right. So I highlighted something in here and I said, emotions make you veer towards ideas that soothe your ego, that make you look for evidence that confirms what you already want to believe. And this ties into something else that I wanted to talk about on my walk with me things. And I might talk about it this week because now this is going to help me think about it more. But the defense of the ego, defending the ego, defense mechanisms, if you've never heard of them, I'm not going to list them all out, but if you've heard of defense mechanisms, you know what I'm talking about. And just for a brief overview, defense mechanisms, I forget who implemented them or who had the general idea of it. But defense mechanisms are basically ways that we try to defend our ego in moments in which we feel as if we've been hurt, in moments that if we feel as if there's an attack happening upon us. And defending the ego is very important because whenever we feel as if our ego has been bruised is when we start to get the most emotional. And that's when we feel as if we need to defend ourselves. When they attack our ego, they're attacking the core of everything that we believe. We all have this false sense of, you know, pride in ourselves and the people that we've become. And if we feel as if someone is trying to attack that or go against that, we're going to do everything we can to defend it. So one thing I think you got to understand is that firstly, you got to understand that you have an ego. You have an ego and it can be bruised by certain people, by certain things, by certain situations. But you can't let the emotions that you feel from that overcome you. It's like those people, those guys who always, the guys who are like, oh, I see red when I fight. Like you have no control over your emotions. You know, like you sound like an idiot. Stop saying that. Anyways, you want to have a control over your emotions, and the time that you're going to feel the most emotional is when you feel as if your ego is being bruised. So firstly, understand that you have an ego, and secondly, start to be aware of the moments in which your ego feels bruised. Start to feel those moments when you're sitting there and someone says something to you and you're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because people are going to test you. You're going to have moments in which people are coming after your ego and trying to tear you down. But you can't get emotional in those moments. Because people end up saying things, people end up doing things that they never would have done had they not been upset, had they not been sad, had they not felt cheated or whatever along those lines. So understand that your emotions are just going to be a reaction to feeling as if you need to defend yourself. You don't need to. You don't always need to. Understand, be comfortable in what you feel about yourself. Be comfortable with who you are. And don't allow other people to bring emotions out of you that you don't want to bring out. You'll never reach a point in which your ego is never bruised. You'll have moments where your ego gets bruised. But as long as you're aware of those moments when it happens, you'll know not to trust the emotions that you feel, because they may bring you into a place that you can't come back from. That was hard. That was hard. I swear I'm a poet, bro. I swear. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about for that one. And then we got number 6. Elevate your perspective. The law of short-sightedness. I got to go back to it because I want to get a little breakdown of what he meant in there. This ties into what I was just saying about the ego. We respond first and foremost to what we see and hear, to what is most dramatic in an event. Every event is connected to something that happened before in an endless chain of historical causation. Whatever we do has consequences that stretch far into the years to come. A lot of people do things without thinking about how these consequences will affect them in the long term. Everyone's thinking short term this, just get something quick. Getting something quick. I'm blanking on the word delaying gratification. There we go. People are unable to delay gratification, and everybody wants things so quick. Everybody wants it right now. I need it now. There's no waiting for it. But people don't understand that there's going to be consequences for every single thing that you do. There's consequences for every step you take, every move you okay. There's going to be consequences for every step you take. Start to adopt the idea of thinking long term instead of short term. Short term things are going to come and go. Short term things are few and far between. But the long term consequences of things, the snowball effect of everything back up towards this big moment, those are the things that change your life. And you never know which actions are going to fuel it. So make the choices that are going to make sure your long term ideal is as good as it can be. Don't let these short-term moments start to take you off track. Don't let these short-term moments let you get out of your, I don't know, I'm blanking, but it goes back to the ego thing I was talking about. Don't let your ego take over in that moment. Don't get so defensive about things and make a mistake that you're going to regret. People have done innumerable amounts of actions that have put them behind bars because of one mistake in the short term. Think about TK. He made a couple of mistakes. He might not be the best example, but you can make one mistake and ruin the entirety of your life, or you can make one positive change and change the entire trajectory of your life. Think about that. It only takes one decision. One decision. Always have the long term in mind. Keep the long term in mind. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the short term. Short term, you don't really have control over in the short term. I mean, in terms of like things happening to you, but what you do in the short term, you definitely have control over. And whatever you do in the short term is going to have an effect on the long term. Always keep the long term in mind. And this is my favorite one. I'm telling you, change your circumstances by changing your attitude. The law of self-sabotage. Come on now. He was in his bag right now. Each of us has a particular way of looking at the world, of interpreting events and the actions of people around us. This is our attitude, and it determines much of what happens to us in life. If our attitude is essentially fearful, we see the negative in every circumstance, we stop ourselves from taking chances, we blame others for mistakes and fail to learn from them. If we feel hostile or suspicious, we make others feel such emotions in our presence. We sabotage our career and our relationships by unconsciously creating the circumstances we fear the most. The human attitude, however, is malleable. By making our attitude more positive, open, and tolerant of other people, we can spark a different dynamic. We can learn from adversity, create opportunities out of nothing, and draw people to us. It goes back to the law in the laws of power. Recreate yourself. Change your perspective. Humans are malleable. The human mind is malleable. Everything can be changed. And really hear about everything you believe. So he was saying in the attitude, if your attitude is fearful, the people around you are going to feel it. If you got anger towards the world, people around you are going to feel it. People are going to feel this. It's going to be emitting from you. Something along those lines. It's going to be emitting from you, and you're not going to necessarily know it. You're going to have this outlook towards the world in which, if you're angry, you may be a lot more offended by certain things. If you're fearful, you may be a lot more hesitant. You won't take risks, as he was saying. Start to figure out what your attitude is, and figure out how it's manipulated a lot of your relationships, manipulated the world around you. Because whatever lens you're seeing the world through is how you're going to see everything. If you're fearful of things, you're going to be scared that the government's going to do something. You're going to be scared that your friends are going to do something. If you're angry at the world, you're going to think the government's out to get you. If you're angry at your friends, you're going to think your friends are out to get you. It's all going to be cohesive. Think about how you view the world and how you view other people, and start to understand how it may be affecting you negatively. Understand that you can change it too. You can change it. We can change anything. Whatever thought process we have, we can change it. We got to do a little bit of thinking. It's going to take time, but we can change it. It's simple to change your perspective. It's so simple, but you have to be aware of it first. The biggest thing is becoming aware of it. Start to look at yourself under a microscope. Really, look at yourself in social situations. Look how you think. What's your knee-jerk reaction to a lot of things? That's going to be part of your attitude. Start to really hone in on how it is that you view the world. And if you don't think it's going to be beneficial for you, if it's making you take less risks, if it's causing you not to have as many friends as you'd like, if it's causing you to live in fear, understand you can change it. You can change it. You can flip it on its head. You just got to make the effort to do so. 13, I like that a lot better, which is advance with a sense of purpose. A lot of people, we live our lives. Let me read what he was saying initially. Unlike animals, with their instincts to guide them past dangers, we humans have to rely upon our conscious decisions. We do the best we can when it comes to our career path and handling the inevitable setbacks in life. But in the back of our minds, we can sense an overall lack of direction. Think about how many people don't know where they're headed with their life. Think about how many people feel as if they're lost. Think about how many people don't know. They're pursuing a lot of things that they think they want, they think they need, but that's not really what they need. They don't have a purpose. They don't feel as if the things that they're doing are servicing some sort of higher sense of self. And it's unfortunate for a lot of people. People haven't been able to find their purpose in life, so they start to chase false purposes such as money, sex, fame, and things that they think will make them happy, but it's never going to work out like that. It's really never going to. It's important for all of us to find a purpose that actually does us good, that actually does us favors, that actually makes us feel a sense of belonging, something that makes us feel as if we're making a difference in the world. Find something that actually brings joy to your heart. Money is not going to do it. Fame is not going to do it. What are you giving to the world that you want to? What's the gift you have to give to the world? What's your gift? What is it that you want people to remember you for? What is it that you want people to think about when they think of you? Do they want to think of how loving of a person you are? Do they want to think about how you helped them out when they really needed it? What is your purpose? And once you're able to define your purpose, make everything you do support that purpose. Make everything you do go in favor of whatever you believe. Advance with that purpose. Always move with it so you never feel lost. If you know what your purpose is and you walking on the line of what your purpose is, you'll never get lost. You won't have to deal with all these people who are resorting to drugs, alcohol, just because they don't feel as if they're doing anything. They don't feel as if they mean something. Everybody has a gift to give to the world, and you have to find out what it is. And once you understand what it is, once you understand that there's something that you do that makes you feel more whole in your heart, you do that every single day. And you do that until you're laying in that casket. because it's going to be the most rewarding thing that you ever do. The most rewarding thing you ever do. Even if it doesn't even necessarily have to do with any other people. What makes you feel like you? What gives you a sense of purpose? Damn, I was really that even hit me. Like, dang, yeah, let's get into that, because I think I can talk about that a little bit at length. It's gonna be 15. Make them want to follow you. People want to be led, but also to feel free. When you are the leader of a group, people are continually prepared to turn on you the moment you seem weak or experience a setback. Authority is the delicate art of creating the appearance of power, legitimacy, and fairness while getting people to identify with you as a leader who is in their service. Now, this makes me think a lot about relationships, personally, because a lot of guys, there's been a lot of the talk about 50-50, yada yada yada, and I don't want to really get too deep into that, but I want to speak to my fellas personally, dog, because at least from what I believe, the man should always be the leader of the relationship. You understand what I mean? You should always be the leader, but that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're paying for everything, whatever. You have to show that you're a leader. Show that you're able to be capable of handling extreme pressure under duress. Show that you're able to be cool, calm, and collected no matter what's going on. Show that you're actually who you say you are. Be the man. Simple as that, dog. Just be a leader and everything else will fall into place. Know where you're headed. Understand where you're going. Understand where you want to take the relationship. Understand what type of steps you need to take in order to get where y'all want to go, and go in that direction. Go in that direction, because as long as you're a leader, she'll follow right behind you. It'll be easy. It's easy to be led as a leader. Think about how bad people wanted to be the line leader back in the schools. You know how bad you want to be. If you were the line leader, everybody got to follow you. But once they see that you're not really a leader, like, and once they see that you ain't really, if you faking the funk, they jump in ship. So you got to be a leader at all times. You got to show those leadership qualities as much as you can. But you can't fake the funk. You got to be who you say you are. So develop those traits in yourself. Recreate yourself into the leader that you want to be. And be certain in yourself. Be confident in who you are and what you've become. And be a leader and keep moving. And this even applies over to regular life. If you're a leader in your day-to-day life, people are going to want to be around you. People are going to want to feel that. Because people can feel that. It's the energy. You feel that around you. You know when someone really got their shit together and know what they're doing and know where they headed. And it's good to be around those people, because those people always get good things out of life. So be a leader. Understand what it means to what does it mean to you to be a leader? And once you understand what it means for you to be a leader, that's how you're going to lead. And that's how you're going to figure it out. And you got to make sure that you living by that and dying by that. No matter what. Don't let anything knock you off course. Be a leader and remember as long as you live. Once you figure out what it is, path. I know there's some people who don't like to talk about death. So if you don't like to talk about death and you don't really want to hear it, I recommend you still stay here and listen to it, because it's going to be beneficial for you. But I'm about to be talking about death because it's meditate on our common mortality. I was reading about this in another book too. Most of us spend our lives avoiding the thought of death. Instead, the inevitability of death should be continually on our minds. Understanding the shortness of life fills us with a sense of purpose and urgency to realize our goals. Come on now. Training ourselves to confront and accept this reality makes it easier to manage the inevitable setbacks, separations, and crises in life. It gives us a sense of proportion of what really matters in this brief existence of ours. Most people continually look for ways to separate themselves from others and feel superior. Instead, we must see the mortality in everyone. Let's stop right there. See the mortality in everybody. We got a lot of envy and jealousy in our hearts. This is what I was talking about. This was in status anxiety. We got a lot of envy and jealousy of our hearts of the people in our reference group. And for when I say people in our reference group, it's as if, let me explain it like this. Because I was talking to my homeboy about it actually last night. And I told him, I was like, yo, me and you, we're not jealous of Drake. We're not jealous of Drake, even if he's a millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is, hyper successful. We're not jealous of Drake. We could care less. He's a billionaire. Cool. But let's say one of our homies made that to that status. Let's say Drake was our homie. Like, we grew up with Drake. We was cool with him. That's when we're gonna feel some jealousy, because it's like, yo, we was exposed to the same opportunities. We was exposed to the same environment, but he got it and I didn't. That's where it comes in. We're always so envious of our reference group. And even if you're envious of people like Drake and the celebrities and things as if like that, everybody's all gonna die. Everybody's going in the casket at the end of the day. There's nobody on the planet who's going to be remembered forever. And a lot of people may try to contort that into being like, oh, so what's the point anyways? You really want to waste the entirety of your life doing nothing and just sitting around? You really want to be miserable for the entirety of this short time that you're going to have here? At least from my point of view, this is it. This is all I got. I don't believe in anything after this. This is what I got. I got to make the most out of it. I got to enjoy everything that I can. I got to do everything I want to do. And I know other people may have the belief that there's going to be an afterlife. But even if you believe in an afterlife, this is still the only time that you're going to be here. Regardless of what you think. I mean, unless you believe in reincarnation. But even if you believe in reincarnation, this is the only time you're going to be in this body, at this place, doing this in this time. And like I said about the afterlife, this is going to be the only time that you're a human, like a person, a human body. Even if you believe in eternal life, you're not going to be a human up in heaven. You only have one life in this body that you have right now. And it can be over like this. Why are you wasting so much time not doing anything or trying to feel happy, feel good, feel like you did something? Even with the knowledge that it won't be remembered, the fact that it's going to be remembered even by your kids or by your grandkids, that's fine. That's fine. We're all going to be forgotten at some point. Everybody. And the world is not even going to exist at some point. It like, I don't know what else to say, but understand the fact that this is the only time you're going to be here. This is the only time you got. Why are we wasting it? You got nothing else. This is it. This is the only time, no matter what you believe, afterlife, reincarnation, yada, yada, yada. This is the only time you're going to be in this body. The only time. Your only chance. Take full advantage of it, man. And that's a great place to end it off at. But read this book if you really want to get into this. The Laws of Human Nature. There's more I could have got into, but I'm telling y'all, man, read into that. And look over this, watch this again if you have to. And that's all I got, man. Thank y'all for listening to me. Thank y'all for being here, for me rambling. I'm going on like 26 minutes right now. So I've been in that bag. Next book we're probably gonna do is maybe The Art of Seduction or the 33 Strategies of War. We'll figure that out, because I got 33 Strategies of War as kind of like my prop right now. Like, that's what my camera's sitting on. So I got to figure that out. But I appreciate y'all listening, and I'll talk to y'all soon.